Of course, Wednesday, time for Creature Feature. Corbin Maxey is back with us, and we can tell that Africa was just really the most amazing thing ever, and we're looking at part 3 today. What are we going to be seeing?
Part 3. This is the second day on the lake, Lake Naivasha. It's a world-famous lake. Take a look. Second day on Lake Naivasha. Now it kind of looks like we're rolling on the plains, but we're not. This is actually the lake. It's completely been taken over by the invasive species, a plant they call the Water Hyacinth. It actually comes all the way from South America. As beautiful as this plant might be, the Water Hyacinth has many negative effects. It actually prevents other plant species from flourishing here, and it blocks the sunlight to reach the bottom of the lake, which has many negative effects on the fish species that live here. Cruising in Lake Naivasha, where they've been studying the fish eagle since the 1970s. Over 40 years of research. Now the big question is, why study the fish eagle? Well, they're a great indicator species. They're a top predator. And so scientists will look at these birds, and they actually are a great indicator of the ecosystem. Okay, so really quick, what the driver is doing, they're trying to lure in the African fish eagle. They're up there in the trees. There's approximately 100 to 110. Take a look at this. Look at this. There he goes. Take a look. Yes. Success. Okay, right behind me we have some water buck. We also have some zebras. Take a look at that. Far in the distance. What's so unique about the water buck, though, is for a defense mechanism, they actually have been documented to go completely underwater to protect themselves and just have their nostrils up. Incredible. You can always find them by water. Lions, though, they'll eat them on occasion, of course, but they don't like the oily flesh. They'll prefer animals like zebras or wildebeest. Okay, right behind me is a small herd of the Cape buffalo. This is arguably the most dangerous animal in Africa. We have to keep a very, very safe distance. I've talked to some people, and I guess basically to stay safe, if you ever get charged by one, climb a tree. Okay.
Climb a tree, great advice right there. Now, those ones, I remember distinctly their horns. I've seen those in many books, pictures and stuff. Looks like their hair is parted in the middle and everything. But I'm guessing that's probably part of the reason why you don't want to mess with them.
You don't, and they, oh my gosh, Dr. Varani was like, okay, if you ever see a buffalo, climb a tree. But what you don't realize in Africa is all the trees in Africa have these giant thorns. So you're really out of luck if you get cornered by a buffalo.
Between a rock and a hard place.
Yes, between a rock and a hard place. They're very, very dangerous.
Wow, and so this was your second time at that lake, right?
Yes, it's the second time, and they've been studying the fish eagle. You didn't get to see too much of it, but the fish eagle, they've been studying it for so many years, since the 1970s. They're a great indicator of the ecosystem, as you saw, and you would throw fish to them, and what they do is they will photograph them, and each eagle actually has a little tag, and then that's how they, identify certain individuals in the lake.
So you can tell if they're looking at Bill or Sally or whoever.
Bill or Sally or, Larry, it really depends. I don't know if that's the name they have in Africa, but it's a great way to keep, track of the eagles there in Africa.
Amazing how they grab the fish right out of the way.
I know, it's pretty cool, pretty cool.
All right, thanks so much for coming in again, Corbin, and for sharing your adventures in Africa with us. Of course, more next week.